in sub-Saharan Africa, and they actually found skeletons of the African bear in Ethiopia, in Uganda, in Kenya. In Kenya, they call it the Nandi bear, the Nandi tribe. There's a Nandi tribe.
Did y'all say yet? Did y'all say if Jesus walked in that land, or Jesus didn't walk in that land? I don't want Garfield to come and focus on shooting down Ron Dalton. I want him to talk about some of this right here. Just released. Just released. He didn't think I was going to pay.
Hope to see you there, Israel. Take care and shalom.
It's all connected. All right. That's the relief I was talking about right there. What's the name of that right there? What's the name of that right there? Somebody call Yap Gang to help Garfield. Not to come up here and talk crazy. You ain't just gonna get up here and get to run in your mouth. Confirm or deny. Confirm or deny. I want to hear y'all deny this.
"100 proof. The Negro. They cut off his fingers and thumbs if they caught him reading those old books. After all, those books revealed his true identity. And they couldn't have him learning that now, could they? How else could they justify his persecution, torment, and murder? By the hands of the church, by the hands of the Christians. The church openly persecuted the children of Israel. In fact, they persecuted none other than the royal house of Judah.
What other guy called it? Thank you. Thank you.
Now, while Judah was in captivity, Judah was fed from the mouth of the great red dragon and the daughter of Babylon. You see, the daughter of Babylon taught Judah his history, a version of history which began with slavery and the West Coast of Africa. This altered version of Judah's history began in 1619 with the arrival of Africans in English colonies on the East Coast of what would later give rise to the United States of America. Judah's history before 1619 was simply omitted, covered over with new books containing a slightly modified history. To cover up this truth, modern-day books occasionally omit key parts of quotes which describe the Jews as Negro or Black, often by using well-placed ellipses to hide the truth.
To cover up this truth, okay.
We can even find modern books deleting entire paragraphs, which describe the Jews as being placed on West and Central Africa in great numbers and then sold into slavery. We can also find modern books acknowledging the common understanding of Jews being black during the Middle Ages, only to propose their blackness as being metaphorical. Family. These are just some of the discrepancies found in contemporary books and reasons why you should go directly to the source and read it for yourselves. The DNA of the Negro is arguably one of the most misunderstood DNA stories on Earth. You see, traditional DNA analysis rightfully trace so-called Negro DNA back to Africa. And these relationships are discovered by simply comparing present-day African American DNA with present-day African DNA. And as stated before, this analysis rightfully identifies our deep connection with our African brothers and sisters. However, there's one critical missing component in this type of DNA analysis, and it's called genetic bottleneck. You see, a genetic bottleneck event occurs when a catastrophic event of such magnitude, of such destruction, that it wipes out or greatly reduces an entire population. In other words, the population gets purged, and the so-called Negro has gone through multiple purging events. These DNA impacting events could be an earthquake, which levels an entire city. It could be a megablast from a sleeping volcano, which obliterates all life within 100 square miles. Or, in the case of the so-called Negro, it could be the transatlantic slave trade. Which murdered and displaced millions of people around the world over hundreds of years. Or a genetic bottleneck event could be triggered by an expulsion edict or an inquisition, which evicted and murdered hundreds of thousands of the House of Judah in Spain and Portugal. And so these major events, which caused hundreds of thousands of people to disappear from an entire region, subsequently changed the DNA profile of the surviving population. Most importantly, these genetic bottleneck events impact DNA matches, which display on modern-day DNA reports. For example, so-called Negro DNA isn't found among certain modern-day populations. in great numbers. And it's because the Jews were expelled from those places. For example, today's DNA reports don't show so-called Negro DNA matches in and around present-day Israel. However, if we instead compare so-called Negro DNA to ancient DNA extracted from archaeological sites in Israel and Lebanon, we find something unexpected. We find so-called Negro DNA buried in the ground of ancient Israel before the time of the Messiah. Beirut, Lebanon. These ancient archaeological dig sites date back as far as 800 BC. Here, archaeologists discovered the remains of multiple people who lived in ancient Lebanon. These ancient remains are assigned ID numbers and dates. In this particular archaeological site in Beirut, Lebanon, we examined one of the DNA samples collected from an ancient grave site. DNA from this ancient individual is labeled SFI-43. This particular individual lived approximately 567 to 404 BC. Researchers compared the ancient DNA remains of SFI-43 to modern-day Lebanese and Egyptian populations, as well as samples taken from a previous report. They discovered something shocking. They discovered the ancient Lebanese labeled SFI-43 was not closely related to modern Lebanese populations. Instead, SFI-43 showed close relationship to ancient Egyptian DNA samples. This is related in the following graph. Notice the dark green dots of the ancient Egyptian DNA are close to the light green dots of the SFI-43 ancient Lebanese DNA samples. The same findings were illustrated in yet another graph. Now, in this particular graph, related or shared DNA between samples is displayed as red marks. Now, notice SFI-43 shows red related marks when compared to the ancient Egyptian DNA samples. However, researchers didn't stop there. They added one additional group to compare their ancient Lebanese SFI-43 DNA to. They compared it to the E1b1a Yoruba DNA of West Africa. And they were surprised to see that it was a perfect match. Negroes in Israel before the time of the Messiah. And it's not like we're just finding one person in these ancient sites. In research reports, we find the DNA of our African American queens listed as L0 and L3. That's the DNA of Negroes. And it can only mean one thing. We were there. Ancient DNA which matched Yoruba of West Africa. What is it doing in Beirut, Lebanon in 567 BC? Family. The Bible tells us life is in the blood, and they're finding your blood in these old bones of Israel. Do you want to know if your DNA matches ancient DNA discovered in Lebanon from around 567 BC? Well, if you've taken DNA tests with companies such as Ancestry DNA or 23andMe, you can download your DNA data from those companies and upload your data to mytrueancestry.com. MyTrueAncestry.com will compare your DNA to ancient DNA extracted from archaeological sites all around the world. Now, prices may vary based on the number of archaeological sites you wish to compare your DNA to. And no, we're not associated with My True Ancestry. However, if you want to know your story, if you want to know if you're related to ancient human remains discovered in and around Israel before the time of the Messiah, then upload your DNA today. And not only might you find your little family grave site in Israel, you also might discover you have a family grave site in Granada, Spain. But first, let's review how the brews got to Spain in the first place.
It was indeed the beginning of the time of the Gentiles. The descendants of Rome burned the Most High Yah's holy city to the ground. Nothing was spared, and not one stone was left upon another. The blood of Judah and Jerusalem ran through the streets. Two-thirds would perish by the fire and sword, and one-third would go into captivity. As spoken by Hamashiach, the prophecy had come to pass. then let them which are in Judea flee unto the mountains, and let them which are in the midst of it depart out, and let not them that are in the countries enter thereinto. For these be the days of vengeance, that all things which are written may be fulfilled.
And so I see you. Garfield, what's the problem? What's the problem?
Let me tell you something, man. You know what I realized, man? And I blame the good Israelite brothers, the Israelite claimant brothers. I blame the good ones for what the bad ones are doing. Because they don't speak out, because they under this umbrella, like, I'm an Israelite, so I keep this. Whenever Benayah ben Israel make a video, I don't believe nothing. First of all, I'm biased. I don't believe nothing he says. I don't believe one thing he says until I read what he's talking about. Because I guarantee you, he's mixing it up because he knows you're not going to research it because you believe.
You hear that, Bruce?
So Bruce and Ruddy Brew and all you guys who are, pardon the expression, suckers for Benayah ben Israel, never reviews his work. But if
Bruce,
I come here,
you don't strike me as a
source,
Bruce.
I need the source. I need that source. It sounds good. He got the Brooklyn Magic. He got the Dr. Yorkism in him. Benayah ben Israel ain't nobody could make. If Orthodox Moore, who is on the panel, could make documentaries like this, he'd have 1 million viewers. Because Orthodox Moore got the Brooklyn Magic. He got the voice and everything. He ready to go. But if he could make documentaries like this, y'all gonna believe every word Orthodox Moore says. You won't even check the sources. Benayah ben Israel has won the people's heart because he's claiming something that you want to be. You want to claim you're a bloodline Israelite. He claims he's a bloodline Israelite, and he's gonna feed you. Just like Dante is tricking the people to the information. Yeah. They don't want, you see, these people, they don't fact check these people. So when Garfield come on and say, oh, this is not real. Oh, Garfield is a hater. He just want to stop the awakening. But let me yield to Moore, because Moore said in the chat that they already debunked this. Go ahead, Moore. Peace and love to you, by the way.
Yeah, peace and blessings. Yeah, it's ridiculous that he's going back to this well, because it's obvious that they're trying to make up for the fact that they just threw their only scholar, their only geneticist under the bus, Aaron Elhike, recently and whatnot. And so they're trying to go back to an old concept where they're trying to make the claim. Listen to the claim that Benayah makes in the video. He talks about 2 particular samples and whatnot. And if in a second I'll share my screen if Brent lets me whatnot. And so he talks about SFI43 and SFI44. SFI43 is a female, right? And he doesn't tell you their haplogroups, which is amazing, right? So he tries to tell you that based upon the female being linked to something in Yoruba genetics or whatnot, which is E1b1a. This is
hold on. Rewind one more time.
He
now,
tries.
Let's do it simple. What was the name of the DNA group that he claimed in the video?
So he's claiming a link to E1b1a, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's off the Darbyite doctrine or whatnot that the E1b1a is the Israelite is the Israelite marker, whatnot, right? And the L markers are the Israelite female markers, whatnot, right? And so he cites 2 particular samples. Again, they believe L is the female Israelite sample. SFI43 is not a man and cannot connect to E1b1a in West Africa, first and foremost. So he tries to use a female to bring you a male lineage in West Africa. Second of all, she's haplogroup T2C1, I believe, right?
Woo!
As a female, so she's not even haplogroup L. But then, like again, SFI44 is connected to whatnot. They believe they're related because they have the same mitochondrial. He also is haplogroup T on the female side. But here's the kicker, fam. On the male side, he's haplogroup J1A. One more time. The male sample, SFI44, is haplogroup J1A. So neither one of the haplogroups fit their paradigm. And if you want to be technical, they fit other paradigms better.
So you see,
I put a link in the chat real quick. I put a link in the chat to the study that refers to all the information and whatnot. If you click the supplemental,
let me put it in the chat. Let me put it in the chat for everybody. Thanks for that, more, because I actually never read the article. So thank you for that. And let me say this, Brother Barine, it shows you how dishonest these guys are to prove a point. It's just like Ron Dalton. No Israelite agrees with anything that he says. If you ask them, what do you agree with Ron with? Well, I don't agree with everything that he says, but I agree with some of it. What is the some of it? They
Bruce, you hear them talking?
Can't tell you. Because they are liars. Liars for what they believe in. Liars. They won't be honest and tell the truth. And when Garfield and Moore, I'm sorry, Moore, they're going to put you in the category 2. They're going to say you a hater too. They're going to say Moore's a hater too.
Put me in that category. I'm straight with it, fam.
And it's crazy. Now, let me ask Bruce, the Ruddy Brew, or what's that guy that always talk nonsense in the chat? I forgot what his name is.
Israel Descent?
Not Israel Descent. Whoa.
Who be beefing with Garfield in the chat section?
This guy, I forgot his name. But anyway, regardless, Russell Higgins, there you go. Just like you did with the bird, you look at Russell Higgins.
Oh, so Russell, okay.
What do you have to say about this? What do you have to say? And then he argued with me because I made a statement that the second wider comes from the bird's name. And I could prove it right now that I didn't even lie or make it up. I could prove why I said that. Now, looking back into it now, I don't think I'm correct. But I know why I said it, and I couldn't make the case for it. But it's not about...
Look at Bruce. Look at Bruce.
Yes. Bruce, yes. Barry won't tell you. I'll say it. Yes. They're all liars.
Ruddy Brew, I thought he don't even bear witness with this.
I don't know about Ruddy Brew. I take Ruddy Brew out of that. And Bruce, I would take you out of that. I don't think
Bruce don't know no better. He just an armor bearer.
I think Bruce is deceived.
Yes, I believe so. Yes.
So now, watch this. Bruce, I dare you say in the chat that Benayah was right and Moore was wrong. I bet you can't say that. I bet you won't say it today. Why you can't say Benayah Israel is wrong on this information and is deceiving the people?
He could never say that about the people he named. He could never say they're wrong in anything.
You see what?
They're never wrong.
The respect to a person's argument, they like to say that you're a respect to a person, so you can't go against a person who you rock with. Let me tell you something. If Barine come on today and say, hey, what? 2 men can get married, I'm a bona fide upon Barine. And Barine,
you got to. Come on.
I'm a bona fide upon Barine. If Orthodox Moore come and tell me it's perfectly right for somebody to go and rob banks on Mondays, every Monday, I'm a bona fide upon Orthodox.
You got to. You're supposed to.
So now, when Benayah Israel say it, where are you in the audience saying, hey, Benayah Israel, you got to answer to this? Where are you jumping on the panel now? Oh, you got to watch this Benayah Israel video he made. You remember he said to you the other day, Brother Barine, go get the video with Benayah Israel. Was this video he talking about? You see what I'm talking about?
Bruce,
yes. He said you need to get the Benayah Israel new video, or somebody on the panel said it. If it's not him, it's somebody else said it. Now that we play the video and we find this in the video, what do you have to say as a response?
This ain't even a new video.
Benayah Israel. Look at that. You see that?
This ain't even a new video. He's just chopping and screwing old stuff. Like, that's the cold part about it. It's not even new.
Oh, so this ain't even new, Bruce?
And to be to answer Matt's question, he wanted to know what's the Israel that Benayah.
What Israel? What land?
Look on the screen. He got it right there. He got it right in the Levant, fam. House of Judah, right in the Levant.
Oh, wait a minute, in Levant.
Yeah, his paradigm and We Woke Now's paradigm is that Israel is in the land of Israel. They don't do the in Africa thing.
Oh, so Kelly ain't going with that Ron Dalton stuff.
No, now that it's Benayah.
Okay. Wow.
The wrongest 2 left feet on the DNA went up, but they at least got Israel and Israel.
Look at that's all Bruce could keep saying. By Bruce telling me Berean, Ron Dalton brings truth. He don't know. I don't give a. He don't know that don't mean nothing to me. Him saying it over and over and over like an old Alzheimer's patient, that don't mean nothing to me. I'm not. I don't ride these dudes like that. I'm not. I know what the game is. I know how to swing it. When you building a cult, bro, I'm telling you, I studies these cults, Bruce. I'm heavy into that Yahweh, but I'm heavy into that Malachi Zio. I'm heavy into that nonsense, the LeGrands and Crown Heights. I'm heavy into the madness. Jim Jones, I'm heavy into that madness. You can't give me that, bro. I've been studying this too many years. I see signs of a cult. I see they swinging something. How they pick up the DNA guy and they praising him, and then him and Kelly drop the guy. I'm heavy into this, Bruce. I know they trying to swing and finesse. I know the Fugazi. That's how come I stayed so long on Dr. Katz, Bruce. What you would do, what you can't do, I could do that. I'll look at somebody and rock with somebody and flip on them the next minute. Nah, bro, you ain't right. You ain't right, but you can't do that, Bruce. That echo chamber, you too steep in that thing. You can't do it. I ain't mad at you. That don't mean you're a bad person. But how all them folk you named, they could never do no wrong? Man, let me let this video play.
The brews were taken to Spain and Portugal by King Nebuchadnezzar of Babylon and General Titus of Rome. Both groups of brews were royal.
Nature Boy told him to ball, jump up and
As
down.
the following reference reads, the Spanish.
My mind gotta wonder, what would make Nature Boy tell grown folk to jump up and down, and they jump up and down? But Bruce ain't thinking about that. I thinks about that. What would possess them to do that? He said, I'm God to them.
Jews maintained
They
that they
God
had been
to you,
transported hither after the destruction of the temple by the Babylonian conqueror Nebuchadnezzar. And the next reference reads, the Roman governor of Spain begged the conqueror of Jerusalem to send him some noble families from the capital of Judea, and Titus complied with the request.
Hey, Brad, they want me to share the source of the chat, man.
So we
All right,
see
go ahead.
the footsteps of the sons of King David made its way to Spain and Portugal.
Bruce finna put cases on all y'all. That's my friend. Y'all better be lucky I'm in class. I can't come on to debunk all this deception y'all spewing. We got the deception. But Ron Dalton, Ashonda Lodge, and Tayua, those are the gods. Those are the gods of the earth. No lie can come from them. Boy, you better not talk about them folk kissing the Pope ring. You better not do it. You better not do it, Bruce. I ain't never seen such loyalty. I ain't never seen it. Let me go back to this. You ready?
Yep. Is it sharing or no?
Yeah, it's up there on the screen.
Yeah. So if you go to the, so
Hey, hold on, more. I'm sorry, more. Let me tell you something, Berean. This is what I don't like. I could take people calling me out my name. You could say whatever you want to Garfield, but I want you to look at Russell Higgins and what he's trying to do. He's trying to focus in the audience to focus on why we listen to Orthodox more because of his opinion on X, Y, and Z. The issue now is he can't say Benayah Israel is wrong. He now wants to attack more personally. This guy is not from the Christ, the body of Christ. He's not from the body of Christ, Berean. And I'm a non-believer telling you that. Because he can't deal with Benayah Israel being wrong.
They
If you
gotta
can't
run
say
in the
Benayah Israel is
they
wrong,
don't want to deal with it.
you fake. You are fake because that means you want to hear what makes you feel comfortable, not even the truth. You want to be comfortable. This is why when I come on Berean, y'all feel uncomfortable because you're not comfortable in your truth. If you know, you never see certain people go crazy when I get here. But you have these brothers, they're not comfortable in their Israelism. They're not comfortable. No matter what I said to Moore, you never see Moore get out of character. Never. Because he's comfortable where he is. Bereen is comfortable where he is. Sister Gia is comfortable. Chris Fivey is comfortable. JT Mack is comfortable. But you have these people like Russell Higgins who want to attack people instead of dealing with Benayah Israel information. It makes me sick. More is not the topic. Benayah Israel being dishonest is the topic and deceiving you. That's the topic.
That's the
I
topic.
hate people like this. Let me mute up.
All right, go ahead, Mo.
So I put the link for the article or for the paper in the chat, and if you click on that paper, there's supplemental information. If you click the supplementals, you can get to the actual haplogroups. The paper mentions that the mitochondrial DNA of both of them, but you have to go to the supplementals to get the Y DNA with it, right? So again, this is SFI43, the female. Again, this is the one he was trying to connect back to male DNA in West Africa, which you can't do. She does not carry Y DNA like that. And on top of that, in their paradigm that they carry with this whole Darbyite paradigm, they believe that haplogroup L is the female Israelite haplogroup. Now, this doesn't work for them because she's haplogroup T2C1, right? That's her mitochondrial, right? If you go down to SFI44, they believe they're related because they got the same mitochondrial DNA, right? But on top of that, when you go to his Y DNA, you see, man, it's J1A2A1A2. P58. I hope y'all understand what that means, right?
That means he's they're saying that he's directly connected to the Israelites. That's how the Cohen
They're
gene
saying
and
he
all
got
that
to see it.
craziness.
Yeah, they're saying he got the CMH for him. So like they're literally trying to tell you oil is water. They're trying to tell you black is white. They're trying to tell you up is down. I rest my case. I'll leave it there.
Is that enough evidence, Higgins? Is this fake what he has on the table? I put the article in the chat.
Yeah, and I put it in there before Garfield did.
Is it fake? Is it fake? We're talking to Russell Higgins now. Is it fake? Is that good enough for you? He did look at what Jay Guida said. He did link her to E1b1a. So Jay Guida is man enough to say, yes, that is craziness. She's T. Wow. And he did link her to E1b1a. I don't know why he did that. Why did Benayah Israel do that?
Because Darby did that. Darby taught that everybody, all African Americans, male and female, carried E1b1a.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
You just told me something new.
Look at Israel descent. It's running deep right now. Garfield want to debunk Israelites, but don't want to debunk the Christian church for saying God love everyone. Because they don't want to deal with none of this. That's my man, but they don't want this work. Y'all are not used to facing things straight up. That's not the subject. We could get on the nonsense. I love blowing at the church and they nonsense. I love saying the church got a criminal record, but you got to deal with this Israel descent. Don't do this, brother. You from Miami. I thought you deal with this stuff. I thought you one of them cats to keep it a buck. Keep it a buck. If he's G'ing some of Israel, if he pimping some of Israel, if he lying to some of Israel, keep it a buck. Nathaniel don't even rock with DNA like that. And UIC, bro, this is some groupie. I'm scared a little bit. I'm scared a little bit. Not a Benayah. I ain't scared of Benayah, but I'm scared brothers that I respect. I'm scared the way they moving. This ain't time to talk about that right there. This bother you that much? And you come from a camp that don't even lift up DNA? Man, this is revealing here, y'all. This is revealing. Go ahead, Moore. We're going to get back to Benayah.
So sad.
So this is another big DNA mishap that he does in the Levant, because he also makes the claim that the Natufian samples, that there was E1b1a found amongst them, because he misread a DNA paper that said that that E1b1 was there, which is the precursor to E1b1a and E1b1b. So he thought that the paper was saying that it was E1b1a, etc., and it's not. So all over the place, they're getting their ancient DNA mixed up, trying to make this ancient to modern link that they cannot draw, and that they're completely going against all genetic principles and sciences to actually to do and whatnot. So it's fallacious on its face. They're literally like I said, they're telling you black is white, up is down, and whatnot, right? And they're selling it to you. Like this isn't all their DVDs that they're selling to you, all that type of stuff, right? Even go like so Pastor Kelly, he even does the same thing. He talks about like ancient bones and Negro bones in the Levant and whatnot, and it tries to make them all link up with modern day. And it's not the same thing, fam. And it's a sad proposition because like so. And for Bruce, I respect Bruce, right? Because Bruce is like, I don't even deal with DNA. I respect people like that. They like, no, I don't even deal with that, right? But at that juncture, now I got to ask you this question, right? Like, because you deal with like again the law, Bruce, right? So I need to understand these claims beyond a reasonable doubt, then, right? So even if I don't agree with DNA, right, is the claim you're making matching up to the science and whatnot, right? Like, so if you're claiming that people in West Africa, if you go with the DNA, if I'm rocking out with the claim, like, can I show this to a reasonable doubt that SF543, a female, connects to E1b1a in West Africa? No, I cannot show that in any way, shape, or form beyond a reasonable doubt. And at that juncture, we have to recognize, okay, there's an issue here, and we got it. We like Garfield's saying, like, so. Shout out to the people that were calling out Dr. Katz and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Because I know me and Moss was doing that at the very beginning. Shout out to the people that call out the DNA stuff and whatnot, right? Because I got no issue with you believing what you believe and whatnot, right? But when it comes to this whole concept of you're proving something to be true, again, the video says 100% proof. 100% proof. Like, this is supposed to be an infallible thing. You're supposed to be able to stand on this. You should be able to teach this to your kids. But if you take this to any geneticist, you will get laughed out of the room. And that's problematic for him. That's it. Y'all got it.
All right. Let me get back to this because Bruce and